Now first, I'm going to talk about chapter 9. As you see in the contents, chapter 9, it contains how many lessons? 7 lessons. We explain with you reflections, translations, rotation. Lesson number 4, it talks about compositions of transformation, which is I'm not going to talk about it because we already talk about it. Then I will give you lesson number 5. Lesson number 6, actually it talks about a drawing, which is not important. We still have lesson number 7. For today, I will start with lesson number 5, and after that, we will finish lesson number 7. So from chapter 9, you should know that we have 1, 2, 3, and 7. And you will see that actually in the schedule when Mr. Hazm give you the image of the schedule. Now let's talk about actually lesson number 5, symmetry. What is symmetry means? It is a line of symmetry divides the figure into two congruent halves. Look at this beautiful heart. I will divide it into two equal parts. This is part number 1 and this is number 2. The line of symmetry in the green color, as you see in the figure, it's obvious that we divide it into two equal parts. Okay. Rectangle. Of course, in rectangle, you know that we have two length and two width. We have two length. This is length, of course. So this is length. And this is width, as you know, and this is width. So how many lines of symmetry can we draw for rectangle? We have 2, as you see. Each one, it divides the rectangle into two equal halves. This one, it divides into two equal rectangles. The equilateral triangle, I have 3 acts of symmetry. Look, this one, it divides it into two congruent triangles. This one, it divides into two equal triangles. And this line is going to divide it into two equal triangles. So how many lines of symmetry? We have 3 lines of symmetry for the equilateral triangle. Okay. Now, rotational symmetry. What does it mean, rotational symmetry? When I'm saying rotational symmetry, it means what? It looks exactly the same for rotation or for any kind of rotation actually. Like the square. If you keep the square rotated, it will give you the same figure. It's not going to be changed. And of course, you should know, or you remember that when we talk about the square, we said it is actually regular. What does it mean regular again? We have 4 equal sides and 4 equal or congruent angles. In the figure, equilateral triangle, in the second figure I mean, if you rotate it, if you keep rotating it, طبعا rotation of angles, if you are talking about 90 degree or 180 degree, it doesn't matter, it's not going to be changed. It's going to be the same always. One of the most important part of this lesson for today, how to find the acts of symmetry for a quadratic equation. Of course, you should take this part in grade 9 last year. But of course, I would remind you. Look at example number 1. Example number 1, y equals x minus 3 squared. Find the equation of symmetry. First of all, this is a quadratic equation. Then first, I need to expand it using the distributive property, x times x, x squared, x times negative 3 minus 3x, minus 3 times x, minus 3x, minus 3 times minus 3 plus 9. Then we add the like terms, y equals x squared minus 6x plus 9. Then a equals 1. And of course, you should remember what's a. It's the coefficient of x squared. The coefficient of what? Of x squared. Let me say, I'm going to say this part is a. And this part, it's b. And this part, it is c. So a equals 1, b equals negative 6. Don't forget the number with its sign, and c equals 9. What should memorize? The x of symmetry, x equals negative b over 2a. So this part, I need to memorize it. X equals negative b over 2a. What's b? It's negative. So negative times negative, negative 6 over 2 times 1, then x equals 3. This is the meaning of x of symmetry. To make sure that we get the point of this lesson, I will ask you to solve as homework these two questions. As homework, find the x of symmetry for each of the following. Y equals x squared minus 3, and y equals x squared minus 4x plus 4. Of course, I will keep using x equals negative b over 2a. So first you have to determine what is a, what's b, and what is c. I don't need c, we need a. I hope that you understand the x of symmetry, or the symmetry, which is lesson number actually 5 of chapter 9. As I said at the beginning of this video, we still have one lesson, which is lesson number 7, dilation. Or a lot of students, they said to use dilation. It doesn't matter. See you, inshallah.